Hi there, welcome back to Gadget Mad Lad. In this episode, as you've probably seen by well, if the name didn't give it away, it's turning an original charger from a DSi, I think this is from. It also works on the Game Boy 3DS as well. But it's the last iteration of the Nintendo, the new, when they started changing the ends all the time. Anyway, I got given this one, and it's faulty. So, I thought would be cool would be to do a video of me showing you how to make a official Nintendo power supply with a Type-C thing. So what I've done, I've bought a Type-C sync charge cable thing from the pound shop / dollar shop, whatever you call it in America. And my plan is simple. I've pre-tinned the wires to save a bit of time. I've cut the end off. So in case you don't recognize, maybe it's a bit more recognizable like that. It's a basic Type-C data cable. Chopped the end off there. We're not using the data, so we're only using the power, so I've not bothered with the green and the white. So it's just the positive and the ground. So hopefully inside this, there's nothing too complicated, and we should be able to just get this wire out, get this wire soldered in, jobs are good one. Anyway, the screwdriver that you're gonna... that was not good. Anyway, so the screwdriver you're gonna be needing is a security one, the one with the little hole in the center. It's kind of like a Torx bit with, it's a security bit essentially. It's the same screwdriver from what I know as you're going to need for the Xbox One pads and the Xbox 360 pads. So anyway, let's get to removing the screws. There's only two, so shouldn't be too, and they're not different sizes or anything. They're just two basic screws with a really complicated screw head. So now, I've not tried going in this far yet, but let's see, get a pry tool. And I'm just working my way around the seam of it, trying to get in there. Trying to get some kind of access. Unclip something. Oh, I think we've got something there. So what I will do, I will stick, not a screwdriver because I'll mark it. Plastic is your best bet with plastic if you don't want to leave a mark behind. So what we'll do, we'll stick this in here if I can. Wedge that in. Let me wedge it in. Is it missing any screws, am I? No, not missing any screws. So, will you let me stay? It's breaking the tip off that. That's not good. I'm going to have to use that one after all. Go in there, crap. Oh, it's totally leaving a mark, that. There we go. But, so we've got the back off now. Drop my little pry tool down there, take that out. In here you've got capacitors and stuff. Obviously be careful with what you're touching if it's been plugged in recently, because they might not have discharged yet and you don't get an electric shock obviously. So handle with care. We're dropping here. What's just the end of it? Right, what have we got here then? So as we can see on the board there, in fact I'll wiggle it out so you can see better. Be careful there though. But if you see where it connects to it, there's actually red and black, which is exactly what I've got soldered there. So by replacing that with that, we should be good to just, I don't know, I've done the wires too long, so hopefully that won't come back to bite me in the bum. But let's see. So what we'll do, get my little homemade helping hands. I'm going to hold this. I'm saying to try and get it right for the camera. So let's get this right, move that out of the way. Move that out of the way. Move them out of the way. So these 2 points here are where these black and red are going on the other side. So we're going to, I'm going to use my solder sucker to remove that. And then we'll get, what I'll do, mark everything else so we know. So we've got red on this side. Just in case I lose track of it, obviously, or it falls over or something. It's never a bad idea to do this, especially if you intend to go away and come back to doing something else. Mark where you pause it, because you do it the wrong way around. It doesn't always cause damage, but it can do, so better to be safe than sorry. Let's have a little drag of my ciggy. I got my solder iron nice and hot. Solder sucker at the ready. And let's get this done then. So, should be a case of applying heat. What am I doing? I'm going to rest on the helping hands. That's not really going to help me, is it? I'm a dipshit. Alright, so, try not to clamp any of the capacitors or anything too much. Hold it like that. Let's get this sellotape in to wedge it up. Beautiful. Can we see it on camera? So this is the spot here we're working with. Red, black. So as I said, I'm just going to apply some heat and get the solder sucker in, and that should do the trick. Nice and hot first. That over there. Solder sucker almost set that up. Spent in a little crap pot next to me. Give it another little knock. Again, suck it again. Obviously you want to be careful when emptying your thing, because if you get any of the shards over your circuitry it might cause short, so be careful whilst doing so. Again, just applying to the pad now. Get it nice and hot, and coming in with the solder sucker. Didn't quite get it all that time. I actually modify some of my tools, so if you'd like to see a video of some mods that I've got for certain tools, i.e. this was just a cheap solder sucker that I modified to be quite a decent one. It's lasted me a couple of years now, this, from the little mod that I did to it. And it's quite an easy little mod to do, so if you'd like to see that, let me know down below. Obviously, if you're not interested in tool mods, then no worries, but if you are, let me know. And I'll do a little short video showing you how to do it. Literally, it's 5-minute mod. Right, back to the matter at hand. That's what I'm going to do now. I am going to apply a bit of heat at this angle. So I need to knock the plug. What I'm trying to do is just get, I'm going to get my tweezers in wherever they are. Here they are. I'm going to give it a little tug while I apply the heat to loosen it fully. I'm not going to rip any pads up or anything. It's really stuck that. Let's come loose anyway, so that'll be fine. See the other one we need to get loose now. Because it's threaded, you're gonna get like it's gonna catch at certain points, if you get me. So you need to make sure that none of the solder's stuck. I think we're good at that. Just give it a second to cool off. Give it a little blow. I think we're good. A little wiggle about should do the trick. There we go. It is gone. This is still not wasted though, because I'm gonna do a mod with that as well. We'll come back to that in another video. And I'll try to get this done as quick as I can now then. Right, so what I'm going to quickly do is solder the points. I can find my solder, which is there. Dead simple now. So it's a case of a solder, bit of, we can go in, bit of solder, add my tip. Let's get the wire. So we want to come in from the other way now, don't we? Right, so I'm going to have to stand it up sideways for the time being. Let's do this. So it's going to look a bit awkward on camera. I'll show you when I'm finished, obviously, what it looks like. So I'm going to sip a coffee to steady my hands. It's nothing complicated or anything, it's a simple joint. This is nothing like too, you don't need any skills for this really. It's really, really simple. So what I'm going to be doing is, I was going to come from that way, but I will come from this way, trying to knock them screws, obviously that's not good. So we're going to go in with the red first. So I'm going to stick the red towards the hole itself, so I get it lined up. I'm just going to heat the solder on the other side, and that should be okay to just push it through. Yeah, we're good with that one. Give it a second to dry, seems good. And again with this one, we're just sticking it through the hole, so it's lined up, so when we can apply pressure. It's a bit of an awkward one this, obviously. So there we go, got it there lined up. So now from the other side again, I'm just applying a bit of heat towards the thing. Push it through. Job's a good one. Let it dry. They are really good solder joints. So now, if I take this out of this carefully, not to damage anything. If you see here, it's a bit of scorching where the flux off the actual, you know, if we want to pre-tin the wires. But other than that, I'd say we're all good. So now, we should be able to just, how did it go in there? Come on, Chris, remember. I think it was like that, yeah, that's the one. So it slots in place like that. And then this I will just feed into that like so. Yeah, it's looking good. Where's the back of it? There it is. Let's get this. So right at the end now, people, this turned out to not be that long. I actually estimated it to be quite correctly. That's 10-15 minutes. Also, if you look at the camera there, so we're just returning the security screws. I say security screws, it's a Torx screw with a hole in it essentially, or a bit in it. It's like a Torx screw with a hidden nipple. And who doesn't love a hidden nipple, eh? I'll go in there, you. Alright, so there we go. That looks good, that, doesn't it? So originally the cable that was on this was, I think, I didn't measure it exactly, but it was like my arm, from arm to arm kind of thing. So I'm assuming about 2 meters originally. This is only a meter, but this is so if you've got like a Type-C mod on your DS and you don't want to use the wrong charge power supply, this is a good way to have like a dedicated charger that will also charge your phone slowly, I think it will. I should have had the phone to hand to test it, but I've not. So, but obviously there'll be a future point where I can test this. Little thing I want to show you as well. If you've also, this is useful if you've got, say, you've got this dongle adapter thing that I've got where it's a Type-C to micro USB, yeah? So a friend of mine's doing a Type-C and a micro USB mod on a macro, and he's adding both to it, yeah? So my thought was this would be cool for that, because look, you could do that. Put that on that, get like key ring, and jobs are good, and you can charge it via that way, or you could charge it via the Type-C, where you get me. Or, if say for some reason somebody had, say, a lightning charger on a macro, as well as a micro USB, as well as a Type-C, which would be a bit overhand, but some crazy people out there after all. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You could do this as well. So if I can get the thing on, because apparently I don't know what the ability to use dongles. So with a lot of dongle power, this charger can charge Type-C without any dongles. With a dongle, it's got a Type-C to micro USB to lightning. So say somebody made a macro that was Type-C, micro USB and lightning. I think that'd be pretty cool. Crazy, but cool. Maybe a future video. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I've no doubt it definitely works 100%, because this worked fine beforehand. So take my word for it, it definitely works. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon with some other interesting crap that I've got. Crap, I mean that in a good way. And bye bye from Tiny Batman. Bye bye. Adios amigos.